Roman Anthony will no doubt have an MVP caliber season for the Boston Red Sox in 2026.
You are Locked On Red Sox, your daily Boston Red Sox podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Red Sox, your daily Boston Red Sox podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Gabby Maljanian, former ESPN social media associate and current host of the Boston Balling podcast as well. And I'm here to bring you the latest in all things Boston Red Sox, Monday through Friday, straight to your favorite podcast feed. And want to know the best part? It's free. So make sure you tune in because Locked On is here for you every single day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5. And if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Download the app today. I'll tell you a lot more about that later on in today's show, but happy Friday. Congratulations on making it to the end of the week. One more week until Halloween, and officially the World Series starts tonight. How exciting. Blue Jays, Dodgers, really hard matchup for me to know who to root for, because on one hand, it's a division rival. On another hand, it's the defending champs that literally nobody wants to see win again. So not really sure what I'm going to do there, but hope you enjoy the World Series if you're a baseball fan and you just like watching games, which I certainly do. So I will definitely be enjoying those games. But while I'm enjoying those games, I'll also be wondering what the Red Sox are going to be doing this offseason and how they're going to be using their time wisely to acquire the pieces that they need to improve this team for 2026. So we've talked a lot about on the show some of the needs, particularly with starting pitching, and also a solidified, strong power bat that they can add to the lineup who's a true home run threat. Those are big needs that the Red Sox need to address this offseason. But one of the biggest storylines surrounding the 2025 season was the rookies that got called up and made their debuts over the course of the season. So on today's show, I'm going to be discussing each one of those guys and the impact they could have on the team in 2026, as well as giving way too early predictions surrounding the Boston Red Sox season in 2026. But the biggest prospect who got called up to the Boston Red Sox in 2025 was Roman Anthony. No doubt about it. He was the top prospect in all of baseball. And for good reason, his debut was highly anticipated among Red Sox Nation. And then he got called up due to an injury to Willie Abreu, and the Red Sox needed another outfielder. And he just balled out for this Red Sox team. Through 71 games for the Boston Red Sox, he batted .292 with an .859 OPS, which is on base percentage plus slugging. He knocked 8 home runs and 18 doubles and also recorded a triple. In the process, he also drove in 32 batters and accumulated a 3.1 wins above replacement percentage. So in just 71 games, he was able to make enough of an impact to the point where the Red Sox noticeably won 3 more games with him than they would have with a replacement player. The league quickly discovered that the left-hander had an elite eye too, as he only had a 20% chase rate. So the impact that Roman Anthony made is not something you see every day from a rookie, no less a rookie who spent a good portion of the season in AAA and got called up later on in the season. So the impact that he made was tremendous, especially due to the fact that it was so noticeable in the playoffs when he was hurt and the Red Sox somehow forgot how to hit. And this team, it became very clear, was being carried by Roman when he was healthy. And you don't see a rookie make that type of impact that early on. And the fact that he was able to perform well and could handle that pressure seamlessly shows that things don't really feel like too much for him or too big of a moment for him. And as somebody who had extensive conversations with Roman Anthony when he was in AAA, he always has an attitude of I'm just going to stay humble and I'm going to take things day by day. And it doesn't really matter how small or big the moment is. He's going to have the same attitude about it and he's going to give the same level of effort no matter what. So that's why he was able to handle that pressure so seamlessly of being the guy in a big market team like the Boston Red Sox are. And he's certainly embracing that. So looking at his underlying numbers, two things that are really notable to me. He holds an average exit velocity of 94.5 miles per hour and a 60.3% hard hit rate. So the raw power is definitely there for him. And he's very low in strikeout percentage, just 27.7% strikeout rate. Why? Because he has such a good eye and he doesn't chase a lot. He makes very good swing decisions well beyond his years, and that's something that's going to serve him very well. There's no reason to feel like he won't be an MVP candidate in 2026. He is about to explode. He's now gotten a taste of playing at the major league level, showed that he's not rattled by the pressure that comes with that. So now he's going to get healthy and come back and be better than ever now that he did have that taste, and he knows he's solidified himself as the Red Sox leadoff hitter. So now with the fact that there could be moving parts, he is still the guy that the Red Sox are going to look to in 2026 to have a great year for them. He signed a $130 million 8-year extension with the Red Sox and is set to be the cornerstone of the lineup for years to come. And there's no doubt that he will be able to live up to that hype. He'll presumably be the leadoff hitter against both righties and lefties because he showed his ability to hit well against both, which is another reason why his MVP campaign in 2026 should go very smoothly because he can hit both. You see hitters that struggle notoriously against left-handed pitching. And while there are aspects of Roman's game that he needs to work through, for example, he does struggle with some off-speed pitches that are located to the outside down. He struggles to swing and make contact with those pitches. So particularly a pitch like a slider, if it's thrown outside off the plate a little bit, he struggles to hit those. But generally, because of the fact that he has a good eye, he hasn't struggled with racking up swings and misses, which is huge for a hitter. He also posted an impressive 8 defensive runs saved in 290 and a third innings in right field as a rookie. So his arm and overall abilities make him somebody who the Red Sox are going to feel is very valuable in their outfield. So it's exciting to think about Roman Anthony. He will be having an MVP caliber season in 2026 because he doesn't have a whole lot of flaws in his game right now. He's not like Cedar Rafaela, who becomes super swing happy. He's really picky about what he actually swings at. And you need to be that way in order to succeed at the highest level. So as long as he continues to do that and he makes good swing selections, he is going to continue to elevate his game, and his game was already being played at a high level in 2025. If he can just click on a little bit more of those off-speed pitches, it'll be very difficult to pitch to him. And when you look at an MVP caliber season, you look at a player who performs well in various stat categories. Batting average, he definitely has. Home runs, definitely something that he is capable of with the raw power that he has. On base percentage, another thing, because of the fact that he doesn't swing at any pitch that he sees, his on-base percentage could increase because it's hard to pitch to him and he takes his walks and he finds the right pitch. And then when he makes noise and makes hard contact, there's no stopping him. So there are lots of positive aspects of Roman Anthony's game that we can look forward to in 2026 and beyond. So there are incentives when it comes to Roman Anthony's contract. He could end up earning $230 million over the full lifespan of the contract, but he's going to have to continue to play really good baseball at an insanely high level. There's another $70 million for him to earn based on how he finishes in Rookie of the Year voting, plus future MVP votes, and how many All-Star appearances he makes. So because of the fact that he's still so young, and he's off to a tremendous start to his career, betting on himself feels like it's a solid move for him. And it should work out great for the Red Sox too, because this is going to look like a bargain deal for almost a decade while they have him committed to being in Boston. Even if all of the escalators kick in and he's able to elevate how much he's getting paid, the contract will still be a bargain when the next crop of big name free agents start to sign their new deals. So his extension will essentially run from the 2026 season through 2033, and the Red Sox hold a club option for 2034. So essentially he's making $2 million in 2026, and that continues to increase each year. $4 million in 2027, $8 million in 2028, $15 million in 2029, $19 million in 2030, $23 million in 2031, $25 million in 2032, and $29 million in 2033, with a $30 million club option for 2034. So essentially, it works really well in the Red Sox favor. If he ends up finishing first or second in AL Rookie of the Year voting, he'll receive another $1 million per season from 2031 to 33. And another $2 million in his option year. If he does not place in the top two, his other escalators will start to kick in for the 2032 season. So the point is that there are a lot of incentives for him to play well, which is another reason to feel like he's going to have an MVP season in 2026, because a lot of his potential money is also attached to the AL MVP award. The final 4 years of his contract will increase if he wins the award or finishes in the top 10 in voting. Any MVP win would bump up each of the final 4 years of his deal by $2 million, and he'll get an extra $1 million for each second or third place finish, an extra $750,000 for each fourth or fifth place finish, and an additional $500,000 each time he finishes between 6th and 10th. So winning MVP will essentially guarantee him another $6 million, and his club option would increase by another $2 million. So because of those contract incentives, he's going to be playing with a sense of motivation and an extra sense of vengeance in that regard. Obviously, winning multiple MVPs is no small task, but it's possible. Barry Bonds leads all players in MLB history with 7 MVP awards, and only 11 other players have won 3 MVPs, with Shohei Ohtani being the most recent player to accomplish the feat. But Anthony believes in himself, and the Red Sox believe in him, and I also believe in him. His final stat line for 2025, over 257 at-bats, was 75 hits, 8 home runs, a .292 batting average, 48 runs scored, 32 RBIs, 4 stolen bases, a .396 on base percentage, a .463 slugging, and an .859 OPS. Not to mention the fact that it was over a very small sample size. So if he's showing the potential now, there's no reason to believe that he won't continue on that trajectory, because of his tremendous plate discipline and his raw power and ability to see the ball in a very clear and effective way is going to give him lots of quality at bats. So I'm really looking forward to seeing where things go for Roman Anthony as he continues to develop and grow in his career. But whether the Red Sox decide to trade Jarren Duran or Willy Abreu will probably determine where he plays for years to come. Most likely he's going to end up playing in left field. His abilities as a fielder feel better suited for him to play there, where he could turn into an above average defender. But if the Red Sox end up trading Willy Abreu, he would probably be used in right field, and then Jarren Duran would shift. So we'll have to see how that all goes down. But coming up, lots of other rookies made their debuts for the Red Sox in 2025. Where could they fit into the equation in 26? Let's be real. Making excuses doesn't solve anything. We've all heard them before. It's just stress, I'm tired, or it happens to everyone sometimes. But when it comes to performance, sometimes your body just needs a little extra support. And that's where Rugiet comes in. Rugiet.com offers fast-acting, doctor-prescribed treatments for ED designed to help you stop making excuses and start making moves. It's about confidence, connection, and getting back to the moments that matter. Visit rugiet.com/LockedOnMLB to get 15% off your first order. That's rugiet.com/LockedOnMLB. And don't forget to use our code LockedOnMLB so they know we sent you. Rugiet. Stop making excuses and start making moves. So, as we progress through the Red Sox offseason, we think about the types of moves that they have to make in order to put themselves in a place where they are going to be true World Series contenders in 2026. And that starts certainly with thinking about the players they already have and the contributions that they will likely make. Roman Anthony is about to explode with a big season in 2026. He has a lot of raw ability to just see the ball well and make judgments on when he should and shouldn't be swinging at. It's very difficult for a player to just learn how to do that. So the fact that he already has that skill is going to make him a very disciplined hitter in 2026. And it's going to be hard for a pitcher to be able to continue to fool him with the pitches that they have, because he's going to be able to put up competitive at-bats. And naturally, a lot of times that's going to result in him being able to hit the ball effectively, because these pitchers will have been forced to go through a lot of their pitches in those at-bats. So I'm looking forward to some really exciting at-bats from him. But one of the biggest storylines surrounding the Boston Red Sox in 2025 was their rookies that made their debuts over the course of the season. The Red Sox dealt with many injuries over the course of the year, so it allowed for players that were playing in AAA Worcester to get their opportunities to get called up. So while the Red Sox outfield is crowded right now, Wilyer Abreu ranked in the 97th percentile in arm strength. Roman Anthony finished in the 52nd percentile. So that's just the start. Cedar Rafaela clearly is the best defensive center fielder in the sport. So the Red Sox no doubt had a really good outfield. And when Roman Anthony was added to that, it only enforced it. But there were some other rookies who made their debut for the Boston Red Sox over the course of the season. One of those players was Christian Campbell. And it's truly a mystery as of right now whether the 23-year-old will begin the year with Boston or with AAA Worcester. And his defensive position is also a mystery, because he was one of the big league's worst defenders as a rookie, posting negative 16 defensive runs saved in 471 2/3 innings at second base before the Red Sox sent him back down to Worcester on June 20th, where he spent the rest of the season. With the Woo Sox, Campbell started 31 games at first base, 11 games at second base, 10 games in center field, 7 games in right field, and 5 games in left field. So he was floating around. And the Red Sox told the Woo Sox that they wanted him to get exposure to playing different positions. I actually spoke with Woo Sox manager Chad Tracy about it, and he said they're just trying to get some variety in terms of the positions that he's playing. So he now has experience playing a lot of the infield and a lot of the outfield. So that way, then if the Red Sox were to call him back up, then they can slot him in to a position in either the outfield or the infield and feel relatively confident in his ability to play there because of the reps that he got with the Woo Sox. He best uses his athleticism in the outfield, but there's not really a true position that stands out as his best. So the Red Sox could make arguments for either the outfield or the infield, which chances are, if they were to call him back up to the major league team, it would be for him to play in the infield, because the Red Sox already have an overflow of outfielders on this team. His 2026 outlook all depends on the progress that he makes in the offseason, because he needs to be better defensively while also performing better against sinkers, breaking balls, and off-speed pitches. And Craig Breslow mentioned that Christian learned a lot about himself and that the Red Sox learned a lot about him. He's a tireless worker, and that came into play from spring training through his time in the big leagues when he was the AL Rookie of the Month for April, all the way down to when he was struggling and sent down. Breslow also added that a ton of confidence both in the work he's going to commit to this offseason and what he's going to mean for this organization. But I don't think it makes a ton of sense to try to pin him to a role outside of saying he's going to feel the support of the entire organization, and we know what he's capable of. So when Breslow was talking about Campbell, he didn't commit to where he would play in 2026 or if he'd even be on the major league roster, just reiterating the fact that the Red Sox organization believes in him. He signed an 8-year, $60 million extension after going 6 for 16 with a homer, double, 4 walks, and a .500 on base percentage in his first 5 games. His $7.5 million average annual value that will count toward Boston's CBT next year isn't enough to necessarily hamstring the Red Sox, but it does complicate matters some, including making him more difficult to trade. So he's probably here to stay. The question is just going to be, where is he going to play on this Red Sox team, if anywhere, or if he's going to be still in AAA to start the season. So then there's Marcelo Mayer, who, like with Roman Anthony, his position next year likely will depend on how this offseason unfolds, because third baseman Alex Bregman, who's opting out of the final 2 years of his 3-year, $120 million contract, may or may not come back to Boston. If he ends up leaving in free agency, then Marcelo Mayer is a pretty clear candidate to start the season at third base. But if Alex Bregman decides to come back and the Red Sox work out a deal with him for 2026 and beyond, then he would probably start the season at third base. And then it would be a question of, where does Marcelo play at that point? Because shortstop Trevor Story also has the ability to opt out of the final 2 years and $55 million remaining on his 6-year, $140 million contract. The Red Sox can void his opt-out if he triggers it by adding an extra 1 year, $20 million to the deal for 2028. If he doesn't return, then Mayer would be his obvious successor to play shortstop, because that was his natural position. That was the position that the Red Sox drafted him to play to begin with. If Story does come back, then you are looking at Story and Bregman occupying the left side of the infield there for years to come at shortstop and third base. Then you're looking at a situation in which Marcelo probably plays second base, which is a position that the Red Sox do need to figure out after they use 6 different starters there in 2025. Mayer started 7 games there, so he is an option if the Red Sox retain Story and Bregman, and that would likely be where he plays. If he's healthy and also still in the organization, because they potentially could trade him, he should make the opening day roster, but he could always be part of a trade to acquire a number 2 starting pitcher this winter. He hasn't yet logged enough major league time to move beyond prospect status. Baseball America ranks him number 9 on its top 100 list, and he has the chance to be a really special player. But there are definitely questions that linger over his ability to hit left-handed pitching early in his career, and a complicated injury history that extends further past 2025 and goes back to 2024 too. He has never played in more than 91 games in any of his 4 full professional seasons, so he could be on the trading block. But if he's still here, he definitely will be on the opening day roster, playing one of second base, third base, or shortstop, depending on what happens with the opt-outs and players returning or not returning. Payton Tolle made his debut. 22-year-old left-handed pitcher who will get the chance to compete for an opening day roster spot during spring training, but he will likely begin the season in Worcester's starting rotation. He has an elite fastball that averaged 96.6 miles per hour and topped out at 100.8 miles per hour in his 16 1/3 innings in the major leagues. The thing with him, he doesn't have a lot of off-speed pitches yet, and those are still continuing to develop. His 99th percentile extension of 7.5 enhances the effectiveness of his fastball, but opponents still went 13 for 46, which is a 283 average against his heater, because he threw it too frequently at 64.1% of the time, allowing hitters to wait on it. He does need to improve his secondary pitches and then throw them more often to make his fastball play at an elite level. So that's something that the Red Sox are going to have to figure out. He could be starting the season in the bullpen instead of in the rotation. And that kind of also depends on who they have available and if they decide not to trade him during the offseason, because they also have Connelly Early, who showed a ton of potential in 2026 and should definitely be on the opening day roster in some capacity. His playoff start that he made for the Red Sox against the Yankees was only his 5th major league start, and he will be competing for a spot most likely in the back of the rotation. While he's not a lock, he probably has the best chance to win a spot among the other pitchers who debuted in 2025. He has a lot of good off-speed stuff, and he's somebody that the Red Sox saw a lot of value with. Assuming they go out and acquire a true number 2 starting pitcher this offseason, then there's a good chance we see Connelly Early throwing in that 4th or 5th starter spot. Then there's Hunter Dobbins and Josting Garcia, who both made their debuts in 2025. Hunter Dobbins' goal is to return to full strength by opening day 2026 after undergoing season-ending surgery in July to repair an ACL tear. So that's still up in the air when he'll actually be ready to go. But if he's healthy for spring training, he should compete with a group that includes Richard Fitz, Patrick Sandoval, Connelly Early, Payton Tolle, Cooper Criswell, and other pitchers. Cutter Crawford likely will be in that group if he's healthy too. But Hunter Dobbins showed a lot of potential this season, so I'm looking for him to likely be somebody who we could see very well in that starting rotation for this Red Sox team. Josting Garcia had very little time up in the majors, 22-year-old outfielder who really truly looked overmatched in his first taste of the majors, which was, again, a really small sample size, striking out 5 times in 7 at-bats. So he'll likely begin the 2026 season with Worcester, especially because of the overflow of outfielders the Red Sox have. But there might be an opportunity for the young right-handed power hitter if outfielder Rob Refsnyder signs elsewhere in free agency. So there is a chance for him to make an impact on the major league team because the Red Sox only other right-handed hitting outfielder is Refsnyder, who they also should bring back. And it feels logical for them to re-sign Ref because he has an 804 OPS in 309 games with Boston over the past 4 seasons. So they definitely probably would want his bat back with this Boston Red Sox team. So it makes sense for them to want to bring him back. And if they do bring him back, then the password is probably going to be somebody that the Red Sox maybe look to include in a trade because of how effective he was in AAA. He just probably wasn't quite ready for the majors yet when he got called up again due to injury. But he's somebody the Red Sox could look to trade. Or if they don't trade him, he'll probably be in AAA and will probably spend the majority of the season there, unless, again, the Red Sox were to get an injury in the outfield. So we'll have to see how things play out with all these rookies, but there's definitely a lot of talent there, and I'm looking forward to see what they bring to the table. Coming up, way too early predictions for the Boston Red Sox season in 2026. If you love sports betting, FanDuel is no doubt the place for you, and it currently has an offer that you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. It makes watching football even more exciting when you've got a little something riding on the action. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. It truly is a great way to make lots of money while betting on your favorite sports. How can we complain about that? So make sure that you download the app today and start making yourself rich, because who wouldn't want that, honestly? So as the Boston Red Sox look to hopefully have a big offseason this year to improve areas of the roster that they need, assuming the Red Sox go all out and truly address everything they need to address, this team is a no-doubt 90-plus win team for 2026. This is a team that, if all goes well and things go the right way, will win its division in 2026. The Blue Jays have quite a few expiring contracts on the books. They're in the World Series right now, and especially if they win it, they're paying a lot of players right now, and their roster could very much look different. Plus, they're very unpredictable on a year-to-year basis. Their lineup has been as talented as it is now for a long time now, and they've just been underachieving. So who's to say they wouldn't go back to having a bad season in 2026, given that they finished in last place in the American League East in 2024? The Yankees, there's some uncertainty there because Garrett Cole supposedly isn't going to be ready for opening day. They also have Carlos Rodon, who is hit or miss and might not be healthy either for the beginning of the season. So because of the fact that they are dealing with injuries right now, I don't really see them being a threat to beat out the Red Sox in the division if the Red Sox make all the moves they need to make. And just to be clear, this is assuming they do everything that they need to do and they make the appropriate moves. The Orioles, I don't really see expecting to take a huge leap next year because they still have a lot of their young talent, but they need to sign more high caliber proven players to surround that talent with before I can get back on board with them. So don't think they'll be better than the Red Sox in 2026. And the Tampa Bay Rays haven't done anything notable the last couple seasons to make me feel like they'll be a insane threat unless they have a massive offseason. So the Red Sox very well, if they do everything that they need to do this offseason, they will win their division and they will win at least 90 games, but I'm going with around 95 wins. This, I'm serious, is a team that has that type of potential if they do everything the right way. And that's, again, a big improvement from 2025 when they won 89 games. And yes, they still made the playoffs, but it will be different in 2026. They'll actually be a true World Series contender in 2026 and will not be a wild card round exit as long as they do everything the right way and their players are healthy. So I'm hoping that that's going to be the case. Health is key. Going out and having a big offseason is key. And then the Red Sox are looking at a season that they could be very excited about going into 2026 because fans are dying to have October baseball at Fenway. Unfortunately, that didn't happen this year because they had to go on the road for the Wild Card Series. So looking forward to a lot of what's to come in 2026, but hopefully they make the right moves this offseason to make that all happen. But thank you for tuning in to Locked On Red Sox. I truly always appreciate you making it your first listen of every single day. Next, be sure to check out Locked On MLB Game Night, which is our local experts discussing every game, every night, all the way up until a World Series champion is crowned. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. It's truly a great show, so make sure you check that out next. And as I always say, keep the faith, go Red Sox, and I'll catch you on the flip side.